Hey, welcome back. We're here for pregame. We're actually going to switch, I believe, to the audio or video feed. I don't know if we've done that yet, have we? Yeah. Let's do this. Back in the studio. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. We're going to switch from the telephone line to the video feed.
I like it.
And make sure business is taken care of. It's pregame, and boy, we got a good one coming up, folks. Crimson Cliffs and Dixie right after this. Hey, folks, welcome back. Hopefully we've got all hooked up with the video feed. We are live today from Crimson Cliffs High School, the Mustangs, here on KDXU, taking on the defending 4A state champion Dixie Flyers, Andy Griffin and Rustin Burnside. Rustin, man, how you feeling today? You pretty excited for this one?
Oh, man, I feel absolutely blessed, first and foremost, for the fact that we are playing basketball right now in the midst of a pandemic. On top of that, AG, I went from Cedar Dixie to Crimson Cliffs Dixie. I'm getting a front row seat to some of the best Region 9 games that we have on docket this year. And Cedar and Dixie was one of the best ones I've seen. I expect Crimson Cliffs and Dixie to be very much like that tonight.
Our game brought to you by Sullivan Homes. You know, you only build your dream home one time. Make sure you get it right, just right, at sullivanhomes.com. Find out more on and how they can do it. You can design your own home, things like that. It's going to be fantastic. Sullivan Homes, we appreciate them. And pregame brought to you by Interior Design Center. Like them on Instagram to see some of the stylish looks, or visit interiordesigncenter.com. And you can get caught up in hyperbole, getting all excited about the matchups and everything, but I think tonight, man, when you talk about two teams that are ranked in the top 5 in the state in RPIs, two teams with glossy records, Dixie's only losses coming to some very, very good basketball teams in Lone Peak and Wasatch Academy. Crimson's one loss coming to Desert Hills. I mean, this game has just about everything you could want, doesn't it?
No, it really, really does. First and foremost, it has high scoring chances. When you look at Crimson Cliffs, this is a squad on the year averaging 76 points per game, one of the best in Region 9, one of the best in Utah 4A. And on the flip side, not only can the Flyers score in bunches, guess what, AG? As of region play, they have become the #1 defense in Utah 4A right now. This is a squad holding teams to about 50 points a game, and when things mattered most against Cedar, it was ultimately the defense and drawing fouls that got them the victory over the Reds, because they were able to tighten that up. So we know Dixie can score. We know Crimson Cliffs can score. I'm really excited to see the defensive side of things here tonight, because we've seen that Dixie can tighten it up. I want to see if the Mustangs can do the same.
I think you just said we've got the best scoring team against the best defensive team in the region right here. I think that's what you just said. Yeah, so that's a great battle when you look at the matchups there. On the one side, you got stars like Trey Rockhill. Cole Sampson has really come on as region play has started, and, of course, Hudson Hawes, all for the Mustangs. On the other side, it's two big guns. It's Isaac Finlinson and Ethan Bennett. And when Isaac has a slow start, we saw it slow start against Hurricane. We saw him slow start against Cedar. Ethan comes through.
He really, really did. Against the Reds, Finlinson missed his first couple of field goals, only have 4 points there for a little while, and Ethan Bennett comes out with 17 points. He had 2 steals that ultimately led to points on the other end. Big, big moments for him. Hit a couple threes. Ethan Bennett isn't necessarily known as the guy who's going to knock down the 3 ball at a very high clip. In fact, on the year, he averages about 15 points per game, but his ability to shoot the 3 ball is a little bit less than that. He's 41%, and he's made 13, but he's no Finlinson, he's no Dallin Grant. So when he started sniping like he did, Cedar was caught completely backpedaling. So for Dixie, they have that luxury to go from a guy in Finlinson who averages 24 a game, to go to an Ethan Bennett, to go to a Jeffrey Cox. We've seen him have a big offensive game against Green Canyon. So they just find ways to win and find ways to have guys step up even when their main person isn't necessarily doing what they're accustomed to.
Well, you stole my thunder on that one. I wanted to jump into our MVP Sports Clips Star Watch. No appointments necessary at Sports Clips. Walk-ins are always welcome. Ask for the MVP treatment, which includes haircut, hot steam towel, and massaging shampoo. Be sure to stop in for your MVP treatment at Sports Clips. Hey, it's good to be a guy. And I'm going to go, we know who the stars are. I'm going to go the second tier guys, the guys that are going to be important in the difference of this game. On one side, for Crimson Cliffs, I really like this kid. His name is I was going to say Brock Eller. I wasn't going to say Brock Eller, but he was the first one that jumped out at me as I'm sitting there. Jordan Eaton, number 31. Eaton averages 9 a game. He's not the superstar. He's not the flashy dunking guy, but he just seems to get it done. And it'll be Eaton, I think, battling inside against Jeffrey Cox. Those are 2 tweener guys. They're big, but not that big. They're kind of like, you know the old Adam Keefe, Larry Kraskowiak kind of guys. They're just always around the loose ball.
Absolutely. You talk about them being the hustle type of guys, the solid defenders, the rebounders, and then, of course, chipping in 9 points, 10 points, 11 points, whatever it may be. The thing that's most impressive, first on the Mustang side for Jordan Eaton, this is a kid who already has over 100 points on the season. And on top of that, he shot 64% from the field in doing so. Yeah. When he takes a shot, it's a good look. He's not someone who's going to come out and force up tough shots or give you bad looks. Anything that goes up from Eaton, the chances are high that it's a highly effective shot and that it's going to go in favor of the Mustangs.
Yeah, Eaton's that way. And I think Cox on the other side, same kind of guy. High percentage shots. He's a guy that, he didn't do much this game. And you look down, he has 12 points. He has 9 rebounds. You're like, I don't remember all that, but yeah, I guess he was good, wasn't he? Same kind of guy, Cox and Eaton on either side of the basketball. All right, let's talk a little bit about our Camping World of St. George keys to the game. Camping World of St. George, your 2021 adventure starts at Camping World of St. George, 1500 South Hilton Drive, or go to campingworldstgeorge.com. What do you see? I know tempo, that's what I talked about on Wednesday night. I think tempo maybe is one of those keys, right, Preston?
I think tempo is going to be big. On the side of the Dixie Flyers, we kind of saw, we know that Crimson Cliffs is fast-paced. We know they're a team that's going to put up a lot of shots. They're explosive. Dixie is kind of a mix of things, but more so than anything, I would say the Flyers are methodical. They're not afraid to slow things up, wait for the right look, and really get the most effective shot possible. We saw it against Cedar just 2 nights ago. So for Dixie right now, you can't get into that shootout type mentality that Crimson Cliffs wants to kind of push you into. You really have to play your game, establish your tempo, because for the Reds, who are a high-scoring team, they were forced into that exact same thing. They had to play Dixie's ball game, and for the Flyers tonight, that's going to be a big, big deal in terms of tempo, is making sure that Crimson Cliffs can't push and can't run and can't really be as fast and high tempo as they are on a nightly basis.
Let me pose you a question real quick. Can Dixie run with Crimson? If it ends up being a high-tempo game, does Dixie have a chance?
I mean, Dixie's always has a chance, but the thing is the type of players that Bennett and Cox and guys like that are, they're at their best when they're set shooters, when there's a bit of establishment there, when the offense is settled, where they work best in that type of situation. So they can hang with them. I don't think they want to try, though, AG. I think it's more so in the Mustangs' favor to play that type of tempo basketball. So you can't ever say, nah, Dixie won't hang with anybody, but the Flyers have a method here. They're very effective, and they need to stick to that effective style of basketball.
I'm going to digress for 1 second, and there's a song playing right now. I don't know if you can hear it over the loudspeaker.
I can.
Hysteria, Def Leppard, great 80s rock band, right? This is back when I was in high school, but I saw on YouTube the other day Def Leppard doing this song with get this. What's her name? The tall blonde pop chick, Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Swift with Def Leppard. We're talking about, I mean, my mind was blown because we have a 20-teen superstar in Taylor Swift and an 80s kind of hair band in Def Leppard, and they did a song together. I was blown away. It was pretty cool.
I'm going to have to go check that out on the old YouTube.
YouTube it, man, tonight, man.
All right.
I was like, what? I saw it on Facebook, and I just clicked it, and I'm like, nah, and it was. It was good. Anyway, sorry, I digressed for just a minute. It's Crimson Cliffs and Dixie High School getting ready to do battle here. Our keys to the game are brought to you, again, by Camping World in St. George at 1500 South Hilton Drive. Thanks also to our good friends at Sky Mountain. We've got our Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineup coming up. Also, Sports Clips. Hey, it's good to be a guy. I need a haircut, as a matter of fact, right now, too. Do they do beards over there? I bet they do over at Sports Clips, huh?
Normally. I don't know what the situation is during the pandemic.
Oh, the COVID thing.
Yeah, but normally they do. I've had my beard trimmed there multiple times because I'm incapable of doing it myself. And they do a better job than I ever could.
I can do it. It's just not going to look good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's like a lawnmower. But anyway, and our pregame today is brought to you by Interior Design Center. Like them on Instagram to see some of the stylish looks, or visit interiordesigncenter.com, or you can just Google it out there if you're not censored at this point. I don't know. They may censor them too. You never know about Google nowadays. But anyway, pregame here. It's Dixie and Crimson Cliffs. Again, the Mustangs, they want to score, and they want to score a lot. They have the tools. They have the talent to score a bunch of points. Dixie, I think maybe, I will say this. I think these are maybe the two best coached teams in the region. You got Casey Winters on Crimson side. Here's a guy that was bred in the John Judkins system. He played for John. He assisted John. You know that they watched a lot of film to get ready for this game. And then Tyler Roberts, I mean, kind of raised under cuff as the assistant coach here. Took over a couple of years ago. All he did was win a state championship, I think that this is going to be a good X's and O's type game.
Well, and you talk about the film that's been put into this, AG, kind of leading more so into our keys to the game. That film, if they were able to watch anything from Cedar, if Coach Winters was able to watch anything from Cedar, the one thing that was effective that the Reds did was drive and kick. They were able to get into the paint. Dallin Grant didn't start off hot. Trayton Tebbs didn't start off hot, but they got into the paint, and they were able to find guys open in the corner. Zab Santana led the comeback single-handedly because of the penetration, because of Dixie having to collapse defenders, and because of that open three ball. So for Crimson Cliffs tonight, trying to get these guards into the paint and then find the open shooter on the outside. We know if any shooter for this Mustang squad is left open, chances are high that they're going to knock it down. So you talk about how well coached these teams are. The best part about that is you get to see almost the same team, but almost a different look every night because they know how to make adjustments. All
right, let's get an over-under opinion from Mr. Burnside here. Crimson average is about 9 threes made per game. Mm-hmm. Over under, if Dixie's going to win this game, they have to keep Crimson under this many 3-pointers. What's the number?
I'm gonna ride right at that average. I think Dixie can withstand Crimson's average, but anything extra is going to be a little too much. I'm going to say holding the Mustangs under 10 is probably going to be what you have to do. You
want to win the game, you got to hold them under 10. Okay. Other side, I guess the same thing. If Crimson was going to win this game, you think they got to make more than 9?
Yeah, I really do. Like I said, Dixie can withstand Crimson Cliff's average, at least in my mindset. But for the Mustangs, I'd say anything that's a little above a 12, 13-point shooting night, which they're capable of. Once again, going back to that drive and kick, that's the magic number that's probably going to end up in victory.
This is News Radio 890, 94.9 KDXU, Southern Utah's news talk leader, and sports tonight. In fact, we've got sports last night, BYU, tomorrow night, BYU, Wednesday night, high school, Friday night, high school. So really getting you covered with the sports here on KDXU. We've got our national anthem coming up here in just a minute. When we come back, we'll take a look at our Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineup, see if there's any surprises in the starting lineups. We'll also take a look at some of the scoring averages for these guys. And the tip-off, of course, is only a couple of minutes away as well. Right now, a 2-minute timeout as we get ready for the national anthem.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. Number 1 better be good.
One-handed grab, and Luke Wright is going to score a touchdown on one of the better grabs you'll ever see in high school football.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there?
This is Henry Bouchard, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I never found a customer base more in need of fine American-made sucking power than I found up and down the Wasatch Front in the mid-1980s.
There's one thing coaches love, it's media guys telling them how good or bad their team is.
My pick for the 4A state championship this year when it comes to football is the Stansbury Stallions.
Give me a break. This isn't a contest about who can shovel the most corn silage. I like Pine View.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. So if you're looking for me then, you better look down where there's tall palm trees and shopping sprees. Sip my tires and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Welcome back, Andy and Rustin. Live high school basketball here on KDXU, brought to you by Interior Design Center and our title sponsor, Sullivan Homes. Rustin, you only get one chance to build your dream home. You make sure to get it right the first time so you don't have any regrets as you're sitting there in that house going, why in the world did I put a corner there and why is there no bathroom on the main floor? You know what I'm saying? You don't want any regrets like that. We're getting ready for our starting lineup. Starting lineups today brought to you by Sky Mountain Golf Course. Hit the sky at the beautiful Sky Mountain Golf Course in Hurricane. For my money, the best view in golf. Schedule a tee time tomorrow at 435-635-7888 for Sky Mountain Golf Course. All right, I'm going to go with probable starters before they introduce them. They might turn the lights off out in a second as well here. For Crimson Cliffs, number 3 is Hudson Hawes. I think he's wearing 3 tonight. He's gone 0 and 3, 2 different uniform numbers this year. But Hudson Hawes, number 3. Number 1 is Trey Rockhill. Rockhill, one of the top scorers in the state, although his average has gone down significantly in region play. He was up over 20. Right now he's at 18.6 a game, but he is the top 3-point shooter in the entire region. 44 makes this year for the shooter, Trey Rockhill. And I noticed, by the way, he had a couple of makes over there on the Rush show with Andy Thompson.
Yeah.
Who was rebounding for him? Was it Hawes rebounding for him?
It was.
And nobody dunked it, though. I was a little disappointed it wasn't dunked.
Surprised Andy didn't dunk it.
Yeah, I don't think that was a 10-foot rim, by the way.
Or Peaches. Yeah.
Yeah, Peaches, no. There's no way Peaches gets up to throw that down. Not a chance. Not without a trampoline, anyway. Who is that, anyway, doing Peaches?
That's Paul.
Oh, is that Paul?
Uh-huh.
So, anyways, starting a lineup for, I'm going to need my phone so I have a light here. Okay, starting lineup for Crimson Cliffs. Again, Trey Rockhill, number 1. Number 3 is Hudson Hawes, also starting for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Number 14, that is Cole Sampson. Sampson has really stepped up his game. His average has actually gone up in region play. Number 31 is Jordan Eaton. And then a guy maybe we haven't talked about yet, but a guy that's starting to really make some noise in region play. He's only a 10th grader along with Eaton. His name is Brock Felder. And by the way, Brock in pregame, Rustin, 2 360 dunks in warm-up.
You know what? And the thing about Brock Felder that we have to touch on, too, not only is he giving incredibly valuable minutes at his average of about 8.7 points per game, and ultimately his ability to really play effective basketball. This is another guy who shoots a very effective field goal percentage. We talked about Eaton. Felder, 68% from the field and only 3 points less than Eaton. So both these sophomores contribute and do a lot for this Mustang squad. Both are going to be pivotal components as they chase a state championship.
Starting for the Dixie Flyers, our Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineup. Number 0 is Carson Fortsey, the speedy point guard. He can shoot the 3. He's got 10 this year. Number 4 is Isaac Finlinson, currently the leading scorer in Region 9 at 23.1 points per game. He averages about 2 to 3 makes of three-pointers per game. Number 5 is Ethan Bennett. Number 33 or 22 is Alessio DeHart. I think DeHart is starting, right?
Yeah,
It
is.
Okay, and then number 33 is Jeff Cox.
You know, DeHart is the big man out on the floor, but against Cedar last week, whoever it is, Isaac Finlatson's always the one in the center of the floor contending for the tip-off.
That's because he can jump through the building. It's going to be Finlatson and Brock Felder jumping center. Crimson in their home whites with a little crimson numbers and some blue and gray trim. Dixie in their road blues with white trim. No third color on the Dixie unit, just blue and white.
Plain and simple. That's how they work.
They will stand on that good-looking Mustang in the center of the court. There's the center jump, and it is won by Felder. And Crimson will start with the basketball. Hawes has it on the angle left as they go around to Sampson. Now to Rockhill. Rockhill gets a screen. Good look at a 16-footer. Shot up, in and out, no good. And Eaton on the glass over Felder.
We talked about Crimson Cliffs wanting to attack a quick shot from Trey Rockhill on the first possession of the ball game.
No score, 20 seconds in. Dixie with the possession now. Look inside to DeHart. DeHart looking for a cutter, nothing there. Back outside. They go to Forsey. Forsey with the bright green shoes. Not going to miss him, although Finlayson also has bright green shoes. To Finlayson, he drives in the lane. Reverse layup, up and good over Felder, and Dixie leads it 2-0.
Rockhill was the one trailing, and he kind of assumed that Felder might contest that, and Finlayson took advantage of both of them to lay it up and in.
And a quick reaching foul called as Eaton tries to get free, and the reach is on Ethan Bennett. Fouls were a little bit of a factor on Wednesday night in the Snow Canyon Desert Hills game. We'll see if it's a factor tonight. Shot up, no good. Again, Eaton on the glass over Felder, or in front of Felder, I should say. They go ahead to Finlayson. Ball tipped out of bounds. That's off the quick hands of Cole Sampson. One of the cheerleaders actually caught it. Nice catch, huh?
Very nice catch. And going back to that last bucket that gives Dixie a 2-0 lead, Finlayson cutting baseline, you want him to get off to a good start. He's been a little sluggish the last little while, and we know that he's their guy.
Going all the way to the hoop is Jeffrey Cox. Cox with Eaton on him, and Cox manages to draw a personal foul. First foul on Eaton, and going to the line, Jeffrey Cox.
Yeah, Jeffrey Cox in that last game, the win against Cedar, he had 7 points, held down about 5 rebounds. They didn't necessarily need him to be a scorer that game, but what he did was absolutely crucial because he was a high assist man. Cox played a really good game.
And the lefty misses both free throws, so the score remains 2-0. As Crimson on the offense. Hawes looked at a three, didn't take it. Crosses over in the lane. Little acrobatic shot is a little too hard, and Eaton's got rebound number 3 already.
Haas had to fade back there because he saw
Cox,
DeHart coming.
That was Cox on the glass. Cox has it now, drives in the lane, kicks it. Three-pointer by Forsey, right side, it's up and good. A Team D auto 3, and it's 5-0.
Big shot from Forsey. He only had 5 points last game, well below his average.
And just like that, Trey Rockhill has three-pointer number 45 on the season for him, and it's 5-3. Finlayson drives in, traveled maybe, got away with it. Shot blocked by Sampson. He got it back. Acrobatic shot. Felder got this one. So Finlayson, 2 tries, 2 block shots.
Finlayson was able to capitalize on the baseline early in the game. This time, the defense of Sampson gets there first, and then Felder. We get a great look at it here on our replay, courtesy of CEC TV. 2 straight blocks for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs.
Finlayson goes inside to Cox. Cox, he's a left-hander, and he saw it there, the left-handed bank shot for 2.
Missed the 2 free throws, won't miss that lay-in opportunity.
Drive in, Hawes, lefty, scoop shot, no good. Rebound, and saving it but having a foot on the line was Brock Felder, the sophomore. Out of bounds to Dixie High. Flyers with a 7-3 lead.
Felder's the type of guy, I know he stepped out of bounds there, but he is going to crash the boards consistently. Gets about 5 rebounds per game.
Little 1-2-2 press right now. They skip the ball ahead. Goes inside, shot up, DeHart got it, and a foul. They beat the press. DeHart got one-on-one. He took advantage and scored. Chance for an and one now for Alessio DeHart.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Alessio DeHart. He's done a lot as we see the and one opportunity coming over to help. Looks like Eaton is going to be charged with the bump.
And that's
2. That's a second. You're right, AG. But I love what DeHart's been doing recently. Not only has he established himself as a big presence and a shot blocker, but ultimately, when forgotten about, he can capitalize on opportunities like that.
How about the Flyers, though, now 0 for 3 from the free throw line as DeHart can't get it to go.
Missed a lot of free throws against Cedar as well.
Remains a 9-3 game. Rockhill can't get a shot away, goes to Sampson, back to Rockhill. Around the horn they go. Matthews is in the game for the first time to Haas. He'll crank a three. That's way off the mark. Wide left. DeHart actually caught the rebound on the ground. They get the ball ahead to Bennett. Bennett has it tapped away but gets it back. Now to Finlinson. Top of the key. Man-to-man defense for the Mustangs. Forsey being stared at by Haas. Now screen and roll. Cox with the screen. Nice pass to Cox. A shot is blocked and a jump ball. Good hands by the sophomore Felder.
The interior presence of Felder right now has been big. He already has a swat on Finlinson, and right there creating the jump ball opportunity.
Get the ball into Finlinson. They like to go to him just about every time. He kicks it out to Bennett. Open three. Boom. Ethan Bennett with Dixie's second three-pointer, and the lead is up to 12-3 Dixie.
So far, Dixie's been the three-point shooting team. Bennett picking right up where he left off against Cedar, a game in which he had multiple threes, finished with 26 total.
Hard drive and a reach, and foul number 2 on Bennett. He doesn't like it, but he definitely reached behind, got him on the elbow. I had a really good angle. Bennett's not happy, but that's an easy call for official, and Bennett will have to sit down.
Hey, you like the penetration there from Hudson Haas. He's 0 of 2 from the field so far. Tries to get inside, get something going in the paint, and ends up drawing contact.
Rockhill gets a screen, kicks it over to Sampson. Sampson drives baseline. Skip pass or a drift pass into the corner. Bump, no harm, no foul. Out to Haas. Haas for 3. That's no good. Haas 0 for 2 from deep. And only 1 basket so far, and there's a bumping foul called on Haas at the other end.
So far, what we've seen early on in this game, AG, and I'm assuming the tempo will be the rest of the game, they're not going to tolerate a lot of body contact right now.
You would think that would favor Crimson Cliffs because they like to run and gun. Ball in, shot blocked. Another block for Felder. Chase for the basketball, and Haas hustles and gets it down. Still on a 12-3 count. Haas drives all the way in. Bump, no harm, no foul. Long lead pass, Finlinson. Catch, layup, good. And it's 14-3, and Coach Winters has seen enough. Timeout, Crimson Cliffs. It is a 30, we'll take a 30. It's 14-3, Dixie on top early.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
Right now, the only basket that has gone in for Crimson on their home court as a top-of-the-key three-pointer by Trey Rockhill. Everything else, Brick City. And Dixie leads 14-3. They go inside to Felder. Felder with DeHart on his back. Turnaround push shot up and good. Might have got away with a walk, but basket counts.
Right out of the timeout, you go to the block. I love it. Nothing else has been working.
DeHart tries a shot. He's blocked. Tries another one as he got his own rebound. Felder with a couple of blocks here early. And the Mustangs on the offense to Felder for 10 feet out. Got the roll, and it's 14-7.
Back-to-back buckets, and just like that, a quick 4-0 run for the Mustangs to climb back within 7, and it's been really led by Felder.
What were you doing in January of your sophomore year? I was playing a lot of video games. Cox drives in, and a foul called. Looked like a pretty clean block. Hard to say from this angle, but referee calls a reaching foul. Personal foul will go on number 5, Bridger Jones. Jones will go over to his coach, and Casey Winters will give him a little counsel. The lefty Cox to the line. Free throw. Got that one, so he's 1 for 3.
That's our first fabulous Freddy's free throw make of the night for Dixie. And ultimately, this is a team who only averages about 10 a game. They're already nearing that as Cox gets both to go, and they shoot about 62% from the line.
They've got half of that 10. They've got 5 free throw attempts.
Already.
Made 2 of them. And it's 16-7. Rockhill looking for a screen, gets one. Nothing there, though. Good defense as Felder couldn't get him free, and then he throws the ball away. Finlinson's got it. Fast break. Forsey on the run. Lefty layup. Got it. Got the roll, and it's 18-7.
You want to know why Dixie's able to score effectively? It's because of that #1 defense. It really leads to easy opportunities.
Stop and pop. Sampson on the other end, and he lights it up from deep, and it's 18-10.
Big shot from Cole Sampson, his first bucket of the night.
Team D auto 3 there for Cole Sampson. 18-10. A lot of points already on the board. We've got 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Left side, Forsey's got it. And they're in a switch right now because you got Felder on the point guard Forsey. Now they'll switch back as Rockhill on Forsey and Kean Webb in the game. They go deep inside to Finlayson, backs his way down. Shot is partially blocked, picked up though by Webb. Webb tries to turn to the basket, nothing there. Throws it back out high, and Forsey saves it near midcourt. 2:25 left in the first quarter. 18-10, Dixie on the offense.
With how well both these teams scored, you can't give up second chance opportunities.
Finlayson
That's
makes
why.
him pay. Top of the key three-pointer he had all day. The screen was there, and it's 21-10. And Finlayson, no slow start today. He has 7 here in the first.
Dixie's normally, these last couple games, relied on their defense early on, and tonight they're getting it from both sides.
A little matchup zone. There's a screen for Rockhill. He stops from 17. Shot a little hard, and a rebound to Jeffrey Cox. Dixie on the run. Finlayson sees us hold, tries to get his way in, gets it to Webb. Webb shot no good. Rebound taken down by Crimson Cliffs. A little bit ugly, and now a steal at the other end. Finlayson's got it, and Finlayson is held on the drive. Another foul on Jones.
How about Bronson Barbin getting his hand in there, stealing the basketball away, had a rebound on the other end, comes back down, and gives Dixie another opportunity. We can't stress this enough. You can't give teams like the Flyers and even teams like the Mustangs second chances at scoring the basketball.
I like a turnover in football. It's a bigger in football. Shot up, Finlayson no good, partially bothered by Felder, but they get the offensive board, and the ball bounced outside. Can they save? Yeah, Cox saves in the corner, out to Forsey. Another, a third shot on this possession now?
Yeah, and now 3 offensive rebounds already for the Flyers here in the first quarter.
1:20 to go in the quarter. Dixie by 11. Jeff Cox wants to drive baseline. Spin move, gets it out to DeHart. DeHart to Forsey. Forsey gets a screen, now gives it up to Finlayson. 1:10 on the clock. Wouldn't surprise me if Dixie held for 1 at this point. And an illegal screen as DeHart throws the hip out to try to free up Finlayson. And a pretty easy call.
And so far, Finlayson's been cooking, so you try to get opportunities to give him a little bit of wiggle room. And you can see DeHart there on our CEC TV replay. Leans in with that left side of the body. The referee was keen enough to catch on. Mustang basketball.
I get it, Keene.
Yeah.
Because Kean Webb went out of the game.
Clever.
As their Hot Hills, or Crimson Cliffs rather, with the ball. Double, triple team inside, and a personal foul called as Brighton Terry is hacked.
And we really haven't been able to establish a pace yet this game. I mean, I know the score is obviously 21-10 in favor of Dixie, but no team's really been able to set up much of a rhythm right now because we've seen a lot of foul calls.
Ball comes into Rockhill. He picks it up. Never had possession, so no backcourt. That is Sampson. Sampson drives baseline. He's cut off. Skip pass over to Matthews. Matthews is not a 3-shooter. He gives it up to Haas. Haas with a crossover. Forsey all over him, and there's a hold. Carson Forsey called. Coach Roberts said, hey, that's a push-off, but he did push off, but there's a reason he pushed off. Forsey hacked him pretty good.
5 fouls apiece here in the first quarter. 5 for Dixie, 5 for Crimson.
We're going to be shooting some free throws in a minute, aren't we? Ball comes into Terry. Terry to Rockhill. Rockhill finds Matthews wide open inside. Basket is good, and one. DeHart picks up the late foul.
You talked about Matthews not being a three-point shooter, but what he does well is really moves well without the basketball. We see it here, cuts inside. Barbin loses track of him. DeHart comes over, tries to help, ends up fouling as Peterson checks into the game in favor of DeHart.
Yeah, that's 2 fouls on the big guy.
And they've tried Webb out there. And his stint on the floor was relatively short, so going with a little bit of a different look here. Ethan Jones, who normally comes off the bench, he's been banged up. I believe he got hurt in the JV game on Wednesday.
Travis Matthews hits the free throw, makes it an 8-point game with now about 35 seconds left. Here comes a little bit of a press. Forsey over to Cox. Had a cutter, they didn't see it. Instead, a hard drive to the basket, shot blocked, but a holding foul called. Man, that's going to be foul number 12 here in the first quarter.
Well, and here's the reality that we're faced with right now.
I don't want to hear it.
Anytime you put your shoulder down, go to the hoop, you're going to either end up shooting free throws or at least draw a foul, as Barbin's first free throw attempt is good from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line.
About a week or so ago, I asked Coach Roberts, I said, is there anybody that surprised you with how well they're playing? He said, yeah, number 13, Bronson Barbin. And he makes a couple of free throws. The lead is back to 10.
And Barbin's the guy, he never complains, never hangs his head. When he comes off the bench, he's there to rebound, he's there to play defense, and if he gets a chance at an open look, he'll knock it down.
Rockhill tries another three and hits another one. It's a 7-point game, but now 12 seconds to go. Chance for Dixie and Finlayson all the way in. What am I saying? Nobody's going to play for one shot. They're just going to go down and shoot the basketball. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, step back three, Rockhill, and that is no good, and it's going to be a 9-point game here at the end of the first quarter. On our one last scoreboard, it's Dixie 25, Crimson Cliffs 16. One quarter in the book and a lot of points on the board. I don't think we'll have any problem in getting to our Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert. It's 25-16. Dixie on top of Crimson Cliffs as we start the second quarter. 8 minutes on the clock. Our clock brought to you by Nets on Fire. Trey Rockhill gets a handoff, steps back for another three. Got another one. A Team Deotto three, the third one for Trey Rockhill.
And
it's a 6-point game.
Every three from Rockhill AG has been contested, and I mean hand in the face, and that's what he does on a night-to-night basis. But it's impressive that someone can focus and put that much concentration into that much of a contested shot.
Bennett is back in with 2 fouls, had a look at a three, and City drives baseline, and Matthews is going to get called for a hold. And that is team foul number 7.
There we go.
And we're going to have a free throw shooting contest for a while here because both teams in the bonus now.
Foul number 7 over there on our one-loss scoreboard is what it shows. And, yeah, we have 7 minutes, 29 seconds on our Nets on Fire clock. There's a lot of basketball still to be played in this half, and it's going to be done. We're going to see a lot of free throw opportunities for Dixie, a team who we talked about only shoots about 10 a game as Bennett gets his first to fall.
They're 5 out of 8 now. Second free throw, good, 6 out of 9, so 67%. That's not bad.
No, not at all. After starting out missing a handful.
I think they missed their first 3. They made 6 in a row since then. Rockhill hands it off to Sampson. Sampson drives the left side, leaves it for Hawes. He's got an open look, leaves it short. Not a good shot. Hawes is definitely off right now.
0 of 3.
Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Dixie ball in the backcourt. One of the things when you like to run a full court press, you got to make a basket in order to put the press on because it doesn't usually work in a loose ball situation. And Desert Hills or Crimson hasn't made that many shots. It is 27-19. Cutter is Finlayson, and Finlayson is fouled before the shot, but he will get free throws because that's team foul now number 8.
And this game has turned into a I wouldn't say a slugfest. I'd say a sludge fest right now. We're moving relatively slowly through it. And these teams, both of them, especially Crimson Cliffs, are such high-tempo squads. As Finlayson hits the first, he'll get another now. They're such high-tempo squads that you really wonder how stuff like this impacts the rest of the game plan for especially a team like the Mustangs.
Finn hits a pair. That's 8 in a row after missing their first 3 for Dixie. You got the right guy shooting, though, if you got Bennett and Finlayson at the line.
Yeah.
And the lead is back to 10. Hawes brings it back. Hudson Hawes drives in, kicks it back out to Sampson. A long 3 for Sampson. Too hard. Offensive rebound, though. Hawes gets his own miss. Swinging around to Rockhill. Rockhill drives in the lane. Kick in the corner. Open 3 out of the corner. Shot is up and good. And that's a make by McWillis, I believe.
It is. McWillis only averages about 3.1 points per game. And then he gets a rebound on the other end.
29-22. Crimson trying to make a comeback. In the forecourt is Hawes. Crosses over, gives it to Rockhill. Rockhill stop and pop, another 3. This one's too hard. Offensive rebound and a push, I believe, Push-off called on Brighton Terry.
Yeah, they're going to grab Terry there, the senior.
Bad news there, Rustin. Game flow is a killer. That is now 9 team fouls and more free throws coming for Dixie High School. And it's going to be the guy that the Flyers won on the line, and that is Isaac Finlinson.
Well, we talk about how it slows the game's pace up. That can be harmful to either team, but ultimately in the long run, as Finlinson's free throw's no good, I mean, you got important players right now with foul trouble.
And another foul call as we go to the other end. Sampson on the dish off, and that's team foul number 7. And man, I hate this. I don't know, what is the replay showing?
Shows Peterson having his left hand down, maybe initiating some contact with the body. If I was to be so bold, I'd say 8 out of 10 times that's a no call.
Sampson, a good free throw shooter, hits the front end. So Dixie misses the front end at one end, and we get a foul and 1-and-1 at the other end, and Sampson makes him pay. The lead is down to 6. Second one, though, no good. DeHart on the rebound. Ahead it goes to Cox. Cox, runner up, no good. Rebound to Eaton. Eaton will bring it himself with his bright orange shoes. Drops it off to Rockhill. Inside it goes to Felder. Felder, little runner, one-handed push. Nice shot, but the big guy, the sophomore.
Anytime Felder's touched the ball on the block tonight, he's had a nice little mid-range jumper. He's had a couple nice post moves, and now with no DeHart, no Webb on the floor, Felder has a height advantage.
Long pass, mishandling the ball. It's Bronson, but he gets it back and lays it up reverse style on the left side, and it's back to a 6-point game.
Yeah, Barbin doing something there he normally never does as a quarterback, fumbling the ball there for a moment, recoups, and is able to finish.
Sampson with the screen from Eaton, drives in the lane, dribbles it off of his shin. A lot of slapping at the arms, and this time I think there should have been a foul.
For all the fouls we've seen, what's the free throw count? I mean, is Crimson only shot 2 free throws, 4 free throws?
They have 1, 2, 3.
3 free throws.
Yep. 6-point Dixie lead. They get it in the forecourt. And inside, cutter is Finlinson. Finlinson behind the back pass to Cox, and Cox with a lefty layup and one. What a pass by Isaac Finlinson.
Driving baseline where he's been most effective tonight, either finishing or creating for himself. We see him double teamed by Sampson and Felder, whips it behind the back to Cox, who finishes through the contact with the left hand.
He is a left-hander, so a natural side for him. He does miss the free throw, so Dixie missed 3, made 8, missed 2 in a row now. It's 33-25, 8-point game. Rockhill trying to get free, can't do it. Goes to Sampson. Over to Haas. Haas tries to get into Felder. Ball dribbled out of bounds, but touched by Dixie. Unable to save it was Bronson Barbin. Barbin's, he's grown, hasn't he? It seems like he's bigger than he was in football. And ball thrown away on the inbounds. Long lead pass to Finlinson. Finlinson turned around off the glass, no good. Nice rebound taken down by Sampson. Lead pass to Rockhill. Rockhill shot up and good. How did he do that?
Oh, Finlinson runs the floor and doesn't capitalize. Rockhill says, watch this, and finishes on his end. Tough lay-in.
33-27 now. They've been within 4, the Mustangs, but Dixie has led throughout this game. Bennett holds on. He's playing with 2 fouls. Got to be careful. Now gives it up to Jeffrey Cox. Cox looking for a cutter. Nothing there. Goes back right side to Finlinson. Finlinson will drive baseline on Sampson. Skip pass across. Around the horn they go. Goes through Bennett's legs and out of bounds. The pass by Cox, or Bronson rather, low and hard. And the quarterback's supposed to make that pass, right?
The toughest thing about that is they were so close to each other, and he throws a bounce pass. Now, it was the right pass because he did have the defender coming up, kind of fronting him, cutting off the basketball. It was just a little too far that it went between Bennett's legs.
11 so far for Rockhill on the one side, 2, 4, 6, 9, 11 for Finlinson on the other side. 2 good scorers going at it. Rockhill with Finlinson on him. Goes to Matthews, looks inside to Sampson, swinging around the horn to Rockhill. Rockhill with the catch, Finlinson on him, gets a screen. Now it's 1-on-1, drives on Bronson. Back out to Matthews and to Cole Sampson. Sampson into Felder. Felder, a lot of room, a lot of space in there. Pivot move, and he is blocked. Nice block shot. Ball goes to the ground and saved by the Mustangs. To Rockhill. Rockhill, left side, no shot good available there for Jones. And a turnaround, Sampson in and out and back in, and it's a 4-point game.
Crimson Cliffs really mounting this comeback by going into the paint, whether it's been Felder, whether it was Sampson there on the little turnaround J. These are paint points that are getting the Mustangs back in it.
Finlinson tried a crossover move, but reading it all the way was Matthews. That's a steal. We're going the other way. Sampson stop and pop. 15, good. It's a 2-point game.
Back-to-back buckets from Cole Sampson. He's starting to heat up.
He's got 8 now, and it's 33-31 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. What a ball game we're treated to so far. Finlinson with the bright green sneakers being guarded. Now Matthews on the switch. Sampson was on him. They go to Bennett. Bennett looking for a screen from Cox. Crossover in the lane. And a steal. Sampson comes away with it. Diving stop and touching the ball while having a right butt cheek on the line was Bronson Barbin. Good hustle, though, by Barbin.
By Barbin and by Sampson. Sampson gets the steal on one end. That ball's loose. Barbin makes a diving effort, and that's why he's been out on the floor right now, is because he's willing to make those types of plays. Unfortunately, like you mentioned, just a little too far on that line.
Peterson back out. Forsey, the starting point guard, back into the game. Dixie in that 2-3 matchup zone. Rockhill gets a screen. Stop and pop. 3 in and out. No good. Rebound fought for, and Finlinson has it. Had to take it away from Bronson and Kean Webb.
That shot would have brought the house down, AG.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy in this gym tonight, regardless of limited capacity.
Try the cutter for Finlinson, but reading it all the way was Matthews. He's a good defender, just like his brother. And they hand the ball off. Around the horn, it goes to Matthews. Looking inside for Felder, nothing doing. They go to Rockhill. Rockhill drives hard in the lane. Up and under move, no good, but a foul called, I believe, on Forsey. It is, and that's personal foul number 2 on Carson Forsey.
When you see Rockhill presents such a difficult challenge to guard, because where he caught the ball, that's shooting range for him. Doesn't matter how close you are to him, he'll pull the trigger. So Forsey up on him, Rockhill sweeps and ends up driving the lane for free throw opportunities, hitting the first.
Point number 12 for Trey Rockhill with 2:03 left in the quarter. The second one will tie the game if he can hit it, and he does, and it is.
2 minutes, 3 seconds remaining and ticking on our Nets on Fire clock.
33 is the count. Forsey brings it across. Now they go to Cox. Cox guarded by Matthews. To Webb. Way out in three-point land. He won't shoot it there. Give it to Forsey. And to Finlinson. Finlinson tries a 3 over Felder. That shot's no good. Rebound fought for and picked off by Dixie on the loose ball. It goes to the ground. Bennett's got it. Diving for it, and we got a foul called. No timeout call. Ooh, they called timeout when Dixie didn't have possession of the ball.
I don't think anyone had possession. That ball was still being batted around when they awarded the timeout to Dixie. Let's get a good look at it here, thanks to our CEC TV cameras. For our radio audience, no one had control of that. That ball was squirting out of Barbin's hands when the timeout was awarded.
Full timeout brought to you by Scott Gibson at the Intercap Lending Team. We'll take a 1-minute break. Be right back.
Radio Dixie 91.3. Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calendris will be on the SWAT team. The SWAT team. Did a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
Hey, just got an email. It is D-Hard. I've been saying. Back at Crimson Cliffs, the Corral Mustangs have come back from 10 down to tie this ball game. Drift pass to Finlinson. Now forcing in the corner. It's 33-33. Dixie and Crimson Cliffs. Late second quarter. Finlinson gets a screen from Kean Webb. Now over to Bronson Barbin. To Bennett. And to Forsey. 4 out of the 5 starters on the floor right now for Dixie. Webb is the only backup. And he gets the ball in the low block. Backs his way down on Felder. Lowers his shoulder and then misses the puppy. Felder on the glass.
We saw
And
Webb hit a couple of those in the JV game. Felder presents a different challenge.
crossover, beautiful move by Trey Rockhill, but he missed a shot and then a foul going the other way. And more free throws coming, and it'll be 2 now for Dixie, even though that was committed at midcourt. It's a double bonus, so Ethan Bennett will go to the line for 2.
Yeah.
That's the first foul of the game on Cole Sampson.
Cole Sampson acting like he was being coached by Quinn Snyder there, trying to do the old slow him up foul. I just don't think he remembered that they're already at 10.
Yeah. But maybe the guy misses a free throw and you're a genius, right? He did not. He made the first free throw, and it's Dixie back on top, and Ethan Bennett makes a pair. He's 4 out of 4 from the line. He has 7 points, and Dixie's leads 35-33. 45 seconds left. In other games, this would be hold the ball 1 shot time, but end of the first quarter, I think we saw 4 or 5 shots in the last 30 seconds. So.
Yeah, we expected the ball to be held. Instead, we've been treated to an offensive performance.
High post goes inside. Felder goes to dunk it. He's fouled from behind by Finlayson. And the ball almost goes in anyway, but Felder doesn't get the roll, and he'll have to earn it from the line. Personal foul on Isaac Finlayson is his first.
And you love the basketball IQ from Cole Sampson. He has a defender on his back, recognizes that Felder's cutting to the rim, and makes the right read. Felder knocks down the first free throw. A big, big night for him thus far.
This kid has grown on me. Sophomore center who can dunk the heck out of the basketball. Missed his free throw. Got 1 out of 2, so it's a 1-point Dixie lead. Felder has 7 points. And with 30 seconds to go, it seems like Dixie will hold for 1 now. Finlayson gives it up to Forsey. Forsey guarded by Rockhill. Now to Peterson, back to Forsey. They leave him alone over there, but it's too early to shoot yet with 17 to go. Now Forsey drives in the lane, back out to Finn. 12 seconds, 10 seconds now, time to go. Finlayson gets a screen from Kean Webb, and a moving screen will turn the ball over with 7 seconds to go as Webb picks up the screen foul.
And watching the replay there, it didn't, as we have a timeout on the floor, it didn't really seem like Webb moved. Maybe it was more so Sampson being able to effectively draw it.
We're going to keep it here as we get ready to head to halftime. Our game brought to you in part by Luke Udy. Shopping for insurance isn't as fun as watching your favorite team until you save a ton of money on home, auto, or life insurance. Call Luke Udy today at Udy and American Family Insurance, 435-251-9102. Boy, the tempo, the excitement of this game, everything we dreamed of, right?
It really is. And you talk about tempo. We asked, is Crimson Cliffs going to play to Dixie's tempo, or is Dixie going to play to Crimson Cliffs' tempo? And I feel like we've kind of seen the best of both worlds, especially with throwing the fouls in there and the game we've been treated to. I don't think either team's really bent to the level of the other or tried to play the other's level of basketball at this moment.
Will 70 points win this game? Well, it remains to be seen. 5 seconds to go, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Rockhill got to stop and pop. Long three is no good. Cox on the rebound. And Dixie, who led much of the first half, saw the lead go away, is going to go into the locker room with a 1-point lead. Russ, and man, what a half.
It really was a half, and a lot of the Flyers' offense came from Finlayson getting penetration, and for a moment it seemed like this was Dixie's game to control and to lead and try to pull away from, but the Mustangs really got going when they started to go to the paint. Whether that was Felder inside, whether it was Sampson cutting inside, just the Mustangs are such a talented passing team that once they were able to get that Dixie defense to have to step up a little bit, it really changed the offensive outcome for the Mustangs, who are traditionally a three-point shooting team. Trust me, they got their threes, but I really felt Crimson Cliffs was at their best when they had that basketball in the paint.
It is 35-34 at the half here from Crimson Cliffs High School, the Corral, where the Mustangs right now trail by a point to the Dixie Flyers. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. The Info West halftime report is coming up with some highlights. If you're with us on video, stick with us.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna pancake McKeever.
Okay.
You go to the right hard.
Go to the right.
Full speed.
Yes, full speed.
Don't go full speed in rehearsal.
Yes.
Our ratings are never gonna go up.
Okay. Let's put these little babies to bed.
Ready? Break. Hey, Brent, when we're done, you can go back to playing Pokemon with those nerds you hang out with at Snow Canyon.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Ready. Down. Hot hot.
Oh.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back to halftime here. What a game we've been treated to so far. High scoring, big time shots, great offensive moves inside, but it struck me, Rustin, with these two athletic teams, you know what we haven't seen in this game is an actual slam dunk.
No, we haven't, and you know there are multiple guys out on the floor who can throw it down for either team. Watching in warm-ups, we saw a couple 360s, we saw a couple regular old-fashioned hammers, and ultimately the reason being almost any shot that's gone up, and this could be due to the high foul count, but every shot's being contested. Neither team is willing to give an easy look. You're either going to earn it from the free throw line or we're going to take this basketball away from you. We've seen the defense on display so far in multiple aspects. Now, both teams have a great offensive potential and ability to score the basketball, but every shot that's going up towards the rim, anyone in the paint, there's going to be contact, there's going to be physicality. We've seen multiple blocks already, multiple fouls. It's just going to turn, I think it's even going to get more physical in the third and fourth quarter.
Let's start with some scores here at the InfoWest Halftime Report. By the way, you want the fastest internet in southern Utah, you go to the boys at InfoWest. Lightning fast internet. Go to Infowest.com to find out more. I got one score off of Twitter. It's Cedar 66, Canyon View 34 in the fourth quarter. They started at 7 instead of 7:30, but not surprisingly, Cedar dominating in that one.
Yeah, the Reds actually having a little bit more luck putting away the Falcons than other teams like Desert Hills and Dixie have. So that's absolutely awesome to see for the Reds. This is a game where they're coming back out. They're mad. They're upset after a really tough loss to Dixie. And the only other score I have, AG, is it looks like we have an update on Desert Hills and Pineview, a game similar to ours, 25 fouls in the first half between those two squads. Desert Hills leads at half 33-26, and what's been actually a tightly contested matchup up to this point over the Pineview Panthers out at the pit.
Of course, the other game, Snow Canyon Hurricane, don't have a score right now on that one. We'll see if we can find one for you as the evening progresses, and certainly on the Region 9 wrap-up show later on tonight. Yeah, we feel like this was going to be the only really close game. It's kind of bearing out a little bit here in the early results. It is halftime, brought to you by InfoWest. Let's take a look at stats. Our stat line brought to you by Wilkinson's, a unique place to shop. Light it up, Region 9, from the light experts at Wilkinson's. Lights, fans, fixtures, contractors and homeowners can rely on Wilkinson's. They're across from Fiesta Fun and STG. And let's start off with leading scorers on the home side. Trey Rockhill with 13 points. He's got 3 threes. He's got a 2. He made both of his free throws for his 13. 8 points for Cole Sampson, a 3, 2 twos, and a 1 out of 2 from the line. Brock Felder with 7 points. He's got 3 twos and 1 out of 2 from the line. The only other scorers, Travis Matthews with a 3-point play and Mick Willis with a 3-pointer for their 34 points. They are, by the way, they made 5 threes and 5 of 7 from the line. What was the number? 10 the
10,
magic number.
yep.
If they make 10 or more threes, they'll probably win. If they make less than 10, they'll probably lose. Right now, they're right on the pace to make 10. They got 5 at the half.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Trey Rockhill's obviously been that main performer from distance, and most of his attempts have been highly contested, and he's had the ability to knock them down. But ultimately, when you look at the scoreboard and see this being a 1-point game, the Mustangs got back in this basketball game really due to the results of Felder and Sampson in particular. They were fantastic down the stretch of that second quarter, and I'm excited to see if Crimson Cliffs decides that the 3 ball is more essential, or if getting the basketball into the paint that worked for him in the second quarter is essential. I think getting it in the paint opens up the 3 ball for you in the first place, but I'm really excited to see what adjustments they may make here in the second half.
Let's go to the highlight. No, let me finish my stats, and then we'll do highlights. Let me finish my stats. Isaac Finlinson on the Dixie side leading the way with 11 points. He has 3 twos, a 3, and 2 of 3 from the line. Ethan Bennett with 7. He's got a 3 and made all 4 of his free throws. 6 points for Jeffrey Cox. Only 2 out of 5 from the line, though, for him. 5 points for Carson Forsey. 4 points for Bronson Barbin. And Alicio DeHart with 2 points. He missed his only free throw try for their 35 points. Dixie, 3 threes, but 10 out of 15 from the free throw line. Let's do those highlights now. Roll them, and you want to talk about what happens during the highlights here on CEC.
Yeah, Finlinson, of course, this is how the game started. A baseline drive, reverse up and under Felder and Haas. Dixie would answer back. Well, this was Forsey. His triple made it 5-0 early on. Crimson Cliffs finally got on the board with a 3 ball from none other than Trey Rockhill. Finlinson's kind of been a presence in the paint all night long, but here Sampson gets the block. It's followed up by a Felder block. Back-to-back blocks for the Mustangs. On the inbound play afterwards, they would find Ethan Bennett, who would knock down his first 3, his only 3 of the night so far. And Felder being big in the paint, going up against DeHart, finishing with the right hand. Finlinson had a great pass earlier on this game to Forsey. We see it in action there that led to the lay-in. Sampson on the other end, another contested 3. Almost every Mustang 3 tonight has been contested, and they buried him. Finlinson there. This was off an offensive rebound when he was open to knock down his 3 ball. Matthews checked into the game and had a and-one opportunity.
Yeah, Matthews, a good, tough inside player. Also a great defender. They need his defense on the floor. There's an oop, just kind of a tap in by Finn.
And he runs the floor so well, AG, running the floor there, finishing. Mick Willis checked into the game for a quick moment and ended up knocking down a triple of his own. And here's one of our best highlights of the night. Finlinson getting trapped on the baseline, going behind the back for the easy lay-in for Jeffrey Cox.
Yeah, we saw right back-to-back, maybe a couple of nominees for our AWP Playmaker plays of the game, the behind the back by Finlinson, and then the scoop kind of a prayer shot by Rockhill for the layup. Let's take a final timeout. We're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be back with the second half, Crimson Cliffs Dixie, after this 30-second timeout.
I have a backpack.
请所有的同学回到座位哈。3。
Get our curve here. And there's the bottom.
Does this one have more water?
Welcome back. We're ready for half number 2. If it was as good as half number 1, we're going to have us a fun time tonight. 8 minutes on our Nets on Fire clock as Dixie leads it by a 35-34 count. Flyers will start on offense here in half number 2. Dixie going left to right in front of us, wearing the road blues with white trim. Finlinson has it top of the key. Goes to DeHart. DeHart looks inside. Now to Finlinson as they run a motion offense. Finlinson crosses over on Eaton. They got a switch on him now. That's what they want if you're Dixie. Eaton, a little bit bigger guy, not as quick as Finlinson. He is guarding him right now. Now he gets a screen from DeHart. Finlinson drives hard in the lane, kicks it over to Forsey, drives baseline, goes back outside, open 3 for Bennett, in and out, no good. Long rebound though to Forsey, drives in the lane, easy, put back uncontested. Dixie leads by 3.
Carson Forsey touching the basketball in all aspects on that scoring drive. Had the nice pass to Bennett that led to an open 3, got the offensive rebound and finished it.
Inside to Felder, had the shot, didn't take it. Back out to Trey Rockhill on the angle left in front of the Crimson bench. Now goes over to Haas. Haas been pretty quiet in this game. To Sampson. Sampson back to Haas. Drives baseline, bump, no harm, no foul called as the ball goes out of bounds. And it's going to go back to Crimson Cliffs. Getting a piece of it was Ethan Bennett.
Yeah, and you talk about Haas so far, almost dribbled out of bounds, had to make a tough pass that Bennett batted away.
Haas in this game, no points. A guy that averages 14 a game. Rockhill gets a screen, can't do anything with it. Goes back outside to Haas. Haas skips it over to Eaton. And to Sampson. Sampson gets a screen, double screen, drives in, kicks it in the corner to Haas. Haas open three, and he got one finally. Team Deotto 3, and we're tied again.
That's what the Mustangs want to see. The bench explodes, the crowd section explodes, the students explode. Haas with his first points, a big three, tying it back up here in the third.
Right on cue, right? We said he hadn't scored, and what does he do? He goes out and scores. Back pass to Bennett. Bennett is tipped away. Double teaming deep was Eaton. Now it's numbers. Driving all the way in. Haas, scoop shot and a foul. And Crimson, I believe, isn't this the first lead of the game, Rustin?
They've had one lead prior, but it was very short-lived. And for Haas, look at this hesitation here. Quick hesitation stops Alessio DeHart in his tracks. He goes the other direction, finishes, and draws the foul on Finlayson. Big play. And now he's up to 5. There's 6 points, just like that after being scoreless at half.
And 1, and the Mustangs have their biggest lead of 3 points. It's 40-37, and Finlayson is fouled on the drive. Give the personal to Hudson Haas. Hudson, the little brother of Jake, who was a star for this blue team, Dixie. Now Hudson, a star for the team in white and crimson. You get the ball in bounds to Bennett. One-on-one out there being guarded by Haas. Does not drive. Instead, he backs out and gives it to Finlayson. Under 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Crimson with a 3-point lead. Cox has it, guarded by Eaton. That's the battle. That's our MVP star watch there. Give it up to Bennett. He crosses over in the lane. Little lefty scoop shot, and when you can shoot left-handed, that's what happens. Nice shot by Bennett.
Ethan Bennett with that search dribble up front just kind of navigates until he finds the shot that he wants and uses his body to perfection.
1 point game now. Thunder on top. Eaton drives in. Double teamed out there. Has to give it up to Sampson. Sampson crosses over. Back outside to Haas. Matchup zone from Dixie right now, giving them fits a little bit. Now to Rockhill. Rockhill stop and pop. 16-footer, no good. Offensive rebound, Haas. Now second chance. We talked about it for Dixie in the first half. It's the Mustangs with a second chance. Into Felder. Felder should have shot it, didn't shoot it, knocked out of bounds by Jeffrey Cox.
You got to give Jeffrey Cox a lot of credit there. He was up at about the free throw line, had to drop down and help. Great recognition to realize that DeHart had been beat and that Felder was going to have an open lay-in. He causes the ball to go out of bounds.
Trying to get it in. Finally, they do way out high to Sampson with 5:05 left. 3, Hudson out of the corner, left it short. Just not quite on his game tonight. Ahead it goes to Bennett. Bennett will drive hard. Stolen from behind, picked off by Haas, but the ball is stolen the other way. Great hustle back by Finlayson.
Tough pass from Haas there, trying to fit it between the legs of Finlayson. Isaac ends up with the steal.
And another little ticky-tap bump foul by the official over here right in front of us. I would have never called a foul on that one. Maybe that's why I'm not official.
And a lot of the times they're getting these guards, they're getting these wings. If they have a hand on the back, they have a hand on the side. Referees have been very zoned in on that tonight.
They go inside to DeHart. DeHart back out to Carson Forsey. Forsey wanted a screen, didn't get it. Now to Bennett. 4.5 to go, third quarter. Mustangs by a point. Defending 4A champs, the upstart Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, who only have 1 loss all season. What a battle. Bennett inside to DeHart. DeHart back out to Forsey, and they'll reset. Pretty good man-to-man defense right now by these Mustangs.
And right now we're seeing Dixie be patient as Haas gets in there, knocks the ball from Finlayson. What do we got, a jump ball?
Finlayson just kind of lost it for a second. Haas dived in there, got on his knees, got dirty. They call held ball, and that'll go back to the Mustangs. So credit him with the steal.
Yeah, Haas with some quick hands tonight. We already had him with a steal earlier on, just a couple possessions ago. That time he strips it from Finlayson while they were patiently trying to set up their offense.
4:05 left in the quarter. Step back, 18-footer is up, no good. Offensive rebound in, nearly a held ball, but they get it out to Sampson. He'll try a 3. That's off the mark. Rebound to Forsey. 3:50 left in the quarter. Dixie trying to take the lead back. Drop it off to Cox. Cox lefty shot. He's a left-hander, up and good, and 1.
And that's Haas with another foul. I'm not sure what that's going to put him up to.
He just got
3.
That'll be 3 now, yep.
3 on Haas. And right there, ultimately, that play happened because Finlayson was able to get to the baseline. Some of Dixie's best plays tonight have came from baseline penetration and then being able to find the open man or finish it yourself.
Coach always said, don't give up the baseline. Make him go where you got help. Jeffrey Cox with the free throw, and Dixie now ahead by 2. Back and forth we go. 3:40 left, third quarter. Rockhill to Haas. Matchup zone for Dixie. Had Rockhill on the wing, but they were late getting it to him. Now they go to Eaton. Eaton skip pass to Sampson. Now to Haas. Haas skip pass inside to Eaton. Eaton bumped, no harm, no foul, and out of bounds. Off of the Mustangs. Eaton thinking, hey man, I got bumped. How about a call here? Nothing doing. Checking out Haas, checking in is Bridger Jones.
Yeah, that's a good no call right there. Eaton actually went into Finlayson thinking he was going to get contact. Finlayson backed up and then ended up putting Eaton on the floor.
Dixie with the ball. Big lead for Crimson 3. Dixie led by as many as, 12 in the first half?
Yeah.
Inside to Cox. Cox can't get the lefty to go this time, trying to shoot over Felder. Now Crimson with numbers. Into Eaton. Eaton from 17. Right down the barrel, and we're tied again.
Yeah, mid-range jumper from Eaton, much needed. In fact, I think those are his
That's his
first
first
points
basket.
of the game.
Yep, first basket. Ball goes to the floor, nearly stolen away, but good job by Cox to run it down, and they'll reset. 2:40 left in the third quarter. It's Dixie 42, Crimson Cliffs 42. DeHart back out to Cox. Now inside Finlayson, ball tipped and stolen. Rockhill, but it was actually Eaton that made the steal. Rockhill came away with it. Rockhill drives in, kick it back outside. Long look at a 3 for Sampson, no good. Rebound fought for and foul on somebody. Who?
I think they're saying Bennett.
3 guys there, 2 white jerseys, 1 blue one, and they're going to call Ethan Bennett for his 3rd personal.
Here's a good look at it here. Sampson's 3 clanks off the back iron. They're going to say Bennett went over the back of Eaton. And for Eaton, good to have him on the board. He averages 9 a game. He's at 2 so far tonight after that mid-range.
They leave Felder wide open from 15, and he can't hit it. Big fella tried it. Wasn't there from the elbow. And Dixie on the glass. Dixie on the offense. Tie game, 2:10 to go in the third. What a ball game here from the corral at Crimson Cliffs High School. DeHart goes into Finlayson. Spin move in the lane. Little push shot, no good. Rebound. And a long lead pass. Sampson's got it. Saves it. Oh, beautiful pass to Eaton for 2, and the Mustangs have the lead.
The offensive possession was the prettiest, but Bridger Jones gets credit for playing good D on Finlayson.
And right back the other way, DeHart gets away. Felder a little late, or was it Felder or Eaton? Somebody's late getting there. Let's see who they get there. They get the foul to Felder. That is his 2nd. And just like that, Dixie tied it up.
A couple times this game, AG, there's been a big play. Rockhill hits a 3. He kind of trots down the floor. Finlayson beats him down for a oop lay-in. In this position right here, a big play from Crimson Cliffs. On one end, after a beautiful pass to Hart, beats everyone down the floor and capitalizes on the and-one opportunity. 3-point play for Dixie, and it's now 45-44 in favor of the Flyers on our one-loss scoreboard.
DeHart's got 5. Dixie leads by 1. On the offense, in right now for Haas is number 5, Bridger Jones. They lose a little shooting probably in that trade-off. And they're still trying to figure out how to go against this matchup zone. Rockhill tries a 3. Rebound Felder. Good position inside. He's double teaming, has to give it up. That is Sampson to Eaton. Eaton, little fader, no good. Tipped back in by big Brock Felder, the sophomore.
He has been so good in the paint tonight. We talk about Lyman Simmons as the explosive big man sophomore, but we really need to pay more attention to Felder. He's put the Mustangs on his back a couple times here tonight.
1 minute to go in the third. Mustangs back up by a point. Baseline drive, Bennett, reverse layup, left it short. Rebound to Eaton. Eaton ahead to Felder. They leave it for Rockhill. Rockhill double team. Ball goes to the floor. Fight for it. And it's going to be a breakaway. Breakaway, down court, layup. No, a dunk by Jeffrey Cox.
Off 2 feet, rising up with 2 hands and throwing it down the pipe, Jeffrey Cox.
He's got 11. Dixie has the lead again with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. This might be whoever has the ball left at the end of the fourth quarter is the winner. 20 seconds. Looks like the Mustangs are going to hold for 1.
Carson Forsey's out there shouting out directions. This Dixie defense really starting to talk.
10 seconds now. You figure Rock Hill's going to get it pretty quickly here. Nope, Sampson drives in the lane, tried to drop it off and throws it out of bounds. Dixie will have it with the lead, the ball, and 5 seconds to go.
It was the right pass, tried to lead Felder inside. Felder wasn't ready for it or cutting.
Forsey pushing hard, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, goes all the way in. Blocked out of there by Felder. And that's how the quarter will end. An emphatic no you don't from Brock Felder.
And Felder's been big all night long, not only on the block there, as we get a great look at it here. He's really just been a solid presence inside, which they've absolutely needed.
We'll take a break on our one-loss scoreboard, 47-46, Dixie over Crimson Cliffs.
Beyond the park you know, exists a world you don't. A world that is greater. Greater than just one passion. Greater than just one adventure. Greater than just one moment. Come to where life is greater. Come to Greater Zion.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
We are back inside the corral. What a ball game so far, 47-46. The visiting Dixie Flyers, the 4A state champs, and they're showing it tonight. They've got a lead on the road. Tough place to play here at Crimson Cliffs. And it will be, I believe it'll be Crimson basketball, right? Start the quarter. It'll be Dixie ball, okay. I thought we had an alternate possession and Dixie got the last one, but maybe I'm wrong. Dixie with the lead. DeHart has it, hands it off to Bennett. Bennett drives on Felder, has to give it up. Finlayson on the angle right with 7:45 left. Left-handed dribble, gets a screen from Cox. Can't get a shot away. Good defense by Eaton. Now to Bennett. Bennett with a screen from DeHart. Bennett drives in, spin move, shot over Felder and up and in. Nice move by Ethan Bennett.
You see Ethan Bennett attempt that spin move multiple times per game, and he's so good at it right there, getting him caught in the spin cycle and finishing with the right hand.
He has 11. By the way, one thing I noticed as we went to quarter, Trey Rockhill did not score in the quarter. And Rockhill tries an alley-oop to Felder. That was behind Felder and out of bounds. And Dixie with a three-point lead. Now the basketball after the turnover by Trey Rockhill.
You bring up a good point there, AG. Rockhill didn't score, and any shot he put up was a tough, tough shot. The Flyers made it really, really hard on him to get any good look.
And on the handoff, a foul called on Crimson. The personal foul will be on Bridger Jones, his third. A long sit right now for Hudson Hawes. About half of the third and the first minute of the fourth. He will come back in now. I don't know if he's sick or he just needed a break or they maybe wanted to put Jones in for defensive purposes. Whatever the case, long sit. Bennett, turnaround, had everybody leaning left. He went right, and the lead is back to 5.
We talked about his spin ability, but he's just so quick at shifting positions and how he moves with the basketball. Caught him there.
Sampson into Felder. Back to Sampson. Gets a screen, drives in. Leaves it for Felder. Felder wasn't ready for the oop. Back outside. Hawes for three. Nope. A rebound taken down by Dixie, and jump ball called. Cox brought it down low, and that's where Cole Sampson said, thanks, man. Held ball. This time it'll go back to Crimson, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Scott Gibson, an Intercap lending timeout. 6:38 on the clock. Dixie has pushed out to a 5-point lead. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
We come back from a timeout. Crimson Cliffs wants to talk things over. Things have gone south here in the fourth quarter. They had what we thought was going to be the last shot and maybe a chance to take the lead in the third. Turned it over and have not scored here in the fourth. Meanwhile, Dixie has gone up 51-46. Ball comes into Sampson. It's been this Dixie defense the difference right now in this game. Trey Rockhill double teamed to Haas. That matchup zone really bothering right now the Mustangs. Rockhill drives in, leaves it for Felder. Felder, nice catch, kicks it back outside. Haas for three. No good. Haas is off tonight. And a rebound to Dixie.
That's back-to-back possessions where he's had an open look
at
three.
Yeah.
Guy you do not want to leave open from the three-point line. He's 43% on the year from three, AG.
Yeah, he has one in the game tonight. He's made 31 this year. So about 3 a game, a little more, about 3 a game. He has one in this one. Ethan Bennett was 6 minutes ago, and the Dixie Flyers leading by 5. Bennett drives all the way in. Another runner, no good. Rebound to Hart, puts it back in, and the lead is 7.
DeHart can be such a sneaky player. When you least expect him, he makes the right cut or the right defensive play there with the big rebound.
Rockhill step back three, that's no good. Fight for the rebound, and it's going to be off of Crimson. Dixie ball, a fight between those two hustle guys, Cox and Eaton.
And the Mustangs could use a solid defensive possession here. You start to kind of feel the momentum shifting in favor of the Flyers.
Yep. 4A state defending champs, unbeaten in region play. Skip over to Bennett, had a look at a three, and Sid drives on Felder. Skips it over to Eaton, around the horn to Finn. Finn for three, in and out, no good. Rebound, nice one by Felder in traffic, and he is fouled either by DeHart or Cox. They were both slapping at it, and the personal foul is awarded to, actually give it to Cox.
And Cox has some words to say to Felder after the exchange.
You're right, though. Big defensive possession. They needed that. Inside, Eaton gets free, about 10-footer in front of DeHart, and it's a 5-point game.
Eaton's second basket of the game, both coming from that mid-range.
Actually, third basket now.
Third basket.
Yeah. He's got 6.
Getting closer to that season average, right about 9.
4:50 left, 53-48. Back cut, Finlinson. Shot blocked out of there by Felder, but there to clean it up is Alicio DeHart, and it's a 7-point game.
Back-to-back big plays from Alicio. Nearly gets a steal. Instead gets the foul as Sampson fights for the basketball.
DeHart in this game has been a quiet superstar. He's got 9 points. I guess that's a superstar status, but 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 points.
That's big, though.
All of them like that one right there. Cleanup. Looking for a cutter. Nothing there. The lead is again 7 for Dixie. Give the ball to Eaton. Eaton, a little 15-footer. That's his shot, and he got it.
That was actually Felder.
Felder, that's right. Felder with the bucket.
With a nice little dribble pull-up. I mean, he just found a rhythm, stepped into it with that dribble, made him comfortable, and he was able to knock it down over 2 Flyers.
I can tell you this. We get to about the 3-minute mark, and Dixie has a 5-point lead or more. They're going to pull it out. They're going to use some time.
Oh, yeah, they'll slow things down. That's what they did against Cedar. They're going to wait for the ideal opportunity, whatever it takes.
Looking inside for DeHart. He's not open, so they go out high to Bennett, to Forsey. Now they do go into DeHart. Felder on his back. Outside to Finlinson. Finlinson being slapped at by Simpson. 3:40 left. Now to Cox. Cox to Finlinson. Looking to drive. Gets a screen from DeHart. Goes baseline instead, and he's cut off. Good defense by Sampson. Now to Bennett. Dixie using a lot of time with this 5-point lead. DeHart in the high post. Has the ball tipped away, saved by Bennett. Bennett, little runner, teardrop shot, no good. And a foul ripped out of there, and a jump ball called. Eaton didn't like it because he felt like he ripped it away in time. Forsey says, no, that's a held ball, and I believe that'll be Dixie possession. It will be when we come back from this timeout. 30-second break. It's a 5-point Dixie lead with 3:21 left. We'll be right back.
There is a place where young and old make connections, where kids feel like grown-ups, and grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast, where wonder is universal, and laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future, families find each other, and feelings find their home. there is a place.
A couple of Hearst Ace Hardware scores. It's a final from Cedar. It's 70-40. The Reds all over the Falcons. A 30-point win. So much for a rivalry game, huh?
Yeah.
And Jazz were up, 15 at the half?
Yeah, it was 82-66 now into the third quarter. Bojan Bogdanovic with 17, and Desert Hills currently leading 53-40 at the end of the third over Pineview.
Game our updates brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware. They go in the high post now to Bennett, the cutter. Bennett back out to Finlinson. No shot there for him. As they'll hold on. 3:15 left. Dixie by 5. And they've got all the time in the world with a 5-point lead.
They'll use it too.
They're going to. Yep, they pulled it out. This is the timeout that Coach Roberts, a la Coach Cuff, his mentor, they turn it into a shorter game. And fortunately, we're already to our Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert as a foul called on Crimson. And as many fouls as we had in the first half, we're still not in the bonus here with 2:52 to go here in the second half.
No, both teams have really cleaned things up defensively. And right now for the Mustangs, it's just honestly desperation. They know they're on 5. They know the clock's ticking. They need to make something happen.
2:45 now. Way out high is Bennett. Rockhill on him. Bennett drives all the way to the lane. Shot up, around, and over Felder, and the lead is 7.
And Dixie will stall until they get the look they want. That time was Ethan Bennett one-on-one, straight to the rack, finishing with the right hand. Big shot.
Haas drives in, nowhere for him to go. Goes out to Sampson. Sampson with Forsey on him. Inside Eaton. Eaton has it stolen away. And a nice save. Did he touch the line? What's the call? Timeout Dixie. Okay. Kept his foot in bounds. Size 12 sneakers. If he'd have been at 13, that would have been out of bounds. Dixie with 2:21 left leads by 7. We're going to keep it right here. We do want to thank all our sponsors, including right now, let's thank Holbrook Asphalt. Big score dessert is in effect. We thought it would be easily eclipsed. Actually,
took a little while longer than we thought.
2 minutes left. Dixie does get over the 55-point plateau. So right now or anytime the rest of the evening, as long as they're open, you can go to Yogurtland and get a free 5-ounce dessert courtesy of Holbrook Asphalt. So you can fill it up, put whatever you want in there. After 5 ounces, it's on you. But up to 5 ounces, it's on Holbrook Asphalt and Big Score Dessert.
That's enough for me. Well, I mean, that's not enough for me.
No,
but that's
it's
enough
not.
to get me there. Absolutely.
I think last time I did it, I had a 12-ouncer, so I had to pay for 7. But you know what? That's still a great deal. Was that like $3 or something?
That's a big deal.
Yeah. 2:21 left. Dixie leads by 7. Flyers look like they're going to get a road win unless something happens here. Open Bennett. This is a dagger shot, no good, but an offensive rebound for Dixie. What a big board. That's a candidate for our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game. Forsey drives all the way in. Round the horn, Dixie playing a game of keep away. Bennett backs things up. 2 minutes to go, 57-50. Gives it to Forsey. Forsey cut off by Sampson. Sampson with the reach around, no foul called. Finlinson all the way in. Shot blocked out of there by Felder.
Still alive here.
On the run is Hudson. Crimson needs a basket on this possession. Rockhill for 3. Got it! It's a 4-point game with 1:40 left. Timeout Mustangs.
He was silent the entire third quarter, and just like that, when it matters most, he comes down the floor and hits a tough contested triple right in the face of the Dixie defense.
Full timeout, 1:38 on the clock on our one-loss scoreboard. It's Dixie 57, Crimson 53.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. Number 3, we go to the soccer field. Same field, different sport. Brianna Stewart bends it like Mia into the top corner pocket. Take a peek at your letters. You can send us mail at any time.
What's up with the stupid robot? His prediction percentage is lower than my dog's IQ, and my dog is dumb as a rock.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there? There's one thing coaches love. It's media guys telling them how good or bad their team is.
Welcome back, Andy and Reston live from Crimson. By the way, Hearst Ace Hardware update 41-26. Snow Canyon leading Hurricane. Dixie breaks the press. Finlinson says, I could try a layup, but I'm going to run some clock. A minute and a half to go. Dixie by 4. Double team on Finlayson and a foul called on Jordan Eaton. An intentional foul. They're not going to call intentional, but he was definitely trying to stop the clock with 1:25 to go. Finlayson, though, I guess if you're Dixie, you probably pick one guy to go to the line. It's this guy, right?
I'd imagine so, either him or Ethan Bennett. But the reality of it is Dixie at times can be an inconsistent free throw shooting team. You never know what you're going to get.
That one was a little short, but he got the roll over the front rim and rattles home. Finlayson with his first point of the second half.
And I think right now, if you're Crimson Cliffs, I mean, sending this team to the line as Finlayson knocks down the second is probably a much better way to go about it than letting him run off another 30, 45 seconds.
Trying to get the ball inside, and Rockhill turns it over. Long lead pass. Bennett lays it up and in, and that might be your dagger as the lead is up to 8. Stop and pop. Sampson for 3. That's a brick. No good. Rebound goes to the floor, picked up by Dixie. They've got 3-on-2 numbers, but a hold called on Crimson, and with 1:05 left, this one might be all over with the shouting.
And I think that was symbolized not only by the finish on the other end by Bennett off the full court pass from Cox, but ultimately when Sampson pulled up that desperation 3.
That was ugly, yep.
Mustangs just looking for something right now.
Bennett to the line, free throw good, and the lead is 9. Ethan Bennett, what a quarter. He has a 9 in the quarter, 11 in the half, 18 in the game. And both free throws gives him 19. Mustangs, desperation time now. Rockhill can't get a shot away. Goes to Haas. Haas leaves it for Felder. Felder from 8, left it short. Rebound, fought for. Dixie comes away with it. They've got numbers all the way in. Bennett lays it up and in. This game is over as Dixie now leads by 12. And a long lead pass tipped out of bounds by Dixie, but it's 65-53.
Man, AG, off that offensive rebound, Ethan Bennett traversing the floor, doing a little behind the back dribble, and then switching sides to go to the left. That's impressive.
Timeout on the floor. Is it a 30 or a full? It's a full, so we'll take a 1-minute timeout. Dixie by 12. This thing's just about over.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Welcome back as Desert Hills winning tonight. Snow Canyon up big. Jazz, we're up big. It's been down to an 8-point game, I think. Dixie State losing. Rockhill step back 3. He got it to go. That makes it a 9-point game, but with 35 seconds to go, it's probably too little too late. Rockhill, no points in the third and none till late here in the fourth. And here's about the only chance that Crimson has, Rustin, is if Dixie misses free throws, and you've got Ethan Bennett at the line, and Ethan's been pretty good in this game.
He has. In fact, Dixie's made their last four free throw attempts.
And by the way, Hawes just fouled out of the game. Hudson Hawes with foul number 5.
It's been a tough night for him. I mean, we know him as the kid who comes in and averages big points, 14, the 43% three-point shooter, 6 tonight.
Free throw is short, so Mustangs with a little bit of a hope. Sampson pushes hard, goes all the way to the hole. Scoop shot no good. D. Hart with the personal. With 25 seconds left, it's still a 9-point game, but obviously you got to make your free throws here.
And that's the best time. That's the best type of point that you could ask for right now. Stops the clock for a little bit, and you get 2 free opportunities. So Sampson needs to knock him down here.
By the way, on our Hearst Stakes Hardware scoreboard, Cedar 70, Canyon View 40. That's a final. Free throw good by Cole Sampson. Sampson, that's his first point of the second half. This Dixie defense is a real deal. Made them both. The lead is 8. I'm sure Coach Roberts isn't comfortable, although 8 points, 25 seconds, that's a pretty safe lead. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Dixie by 7. I said 8. Dixie by 7 with under 30 seconds to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
I'll let Rustin pass that score on to you real quick. It was Desert Hills what?
With 3 minutes left, Desert Hills 69, Pineview 48. Thunder looking to pull away, which means Desert Hills is going to be 4-0 in region. Cedar is going to be 3-1 in region.
Long lead pass. Bennett makes the catch, scoops the layup up and in, and the lead is back to 9 on the touchdown pass to Bennett. Rock Hill, stop and pop, tough three. That's no good, and good rebound by Jeffrey Cox. Cox holds on to the ball. By the way, Ethan Bennett, as a foul is called. How about the fourth quarter for number 5? Ethan Bennett with 6 field goals and 2 free throws for 14 quarter points and 23 in the game, as Cox misses the free throw.
And we're getting a great look here from CDC TV on that replay, that touchdown pass, as you called it. Dixie's not afraid to throw long passes, are they?
Nope, not in football, not in basketball. 1 free throw good as they pass it out, and is stolen by Forsey with 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's your ball game. As Cox dunks it, it doesn't count, and the final is 68-58. The defending champs ain't dead yet as they come on the road and get a huge win. 21 fourth quarter points for the Dixie Flyers as they win it 68-58. Before we go to break, Rustin, man, say what you want about the Dixie Flyers, and I said it in pregame. I thought Crimson had a chance to make a statement in this game. The statement was made, but it wasn't by Crimson.
Absolutely. I mean, the narrative of the last 2 games for the Flyers against Cedar and against Crimson Cliffs is this finally the moment where the king is dethroned? And for the answer to both of those games is no. Dixie coming out with a big, big performance, burying the Mustangs down the stretch. And for Crimson Cliffs, you know, we're still waiting for that big statement win in region play. And for them, I think tonight they did prove once again they are for real. They are to be taken seriously, but tough losses to Desert Hills and Dixie, both in kind of similar fashion, where they hung around for a little while and then got put away late. It's tough because, you know, you have the talent to hang with squads like this, but you just quite haven't figured out how to get over the hump yet. So Flyers remain on top right now in my personal power rankings, and ultimately they will be number 2 in region play, only behind Desert Hills at the moment.
And before we go to break, the Jazz 92, the Hawks 74. Looks like the Jazz are going to win their 4th game in a row after losing 2 straight and going to 4-4. The Jazz are back hot again, and they play actually 6 of their next 7 games at home, 7 of 8 if you count tonight, so a chance for them to make some progress. The Western Conference has been anything but dominant by any one team. Everybody has, I think, at least 3 losses. So.
Yeah, the Los Angeles Lakers are the number 1 team, and they're 10-3. They're currently down to New Orleans, so Utah's sitting right there in that second, third mix at the moment early into the season.
And let's take a break. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. We've got our our Johnson Pediatric postgame show coming up, and we invite you to stay tuned to Region 9 Live here on News Radio 890, 94.9 KDXU. We are Southern Utah's news talk and sports leader.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. Number 1 better be good.
One-handed grab, and Luke Wright is going to score a touchdown on one of the better grabs you'll ever see in high school football.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there?
This is Henry Bouchard, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I never found a customer base more in need of fine American-made sucking power than I found up and down the Wasatch Front in the mid-1980s.
There's one thing coaches love, it's media guys. telling them how good or bad their team is.
My pick for the 4A state championship this year, when it comes to football, is the Stansbury Stallions.
Give me a break. This isn't a contest about who can shovel the most corn silage. I like Pine View.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. So if you're looking for me, then you better look down where there's tall palm trees and shopping sprees. Sip my tires and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Welcome back, Andy and Rustin, courtside. Well, sort of. We're about 8-10 rows up at Crimson Cliffs High School, where the defending 4A champions, the news of Dixie's death has been greatly exaggerated as the Flyers go on the road. First of all, a close win at home against Cedar on Wednesday, and then they go to Crimson Cliffs, a team that was 10-1 coming in, and they get a win on the road. Did it with double figures fashion, in double figures fashion. 68-58, the final score. Dixie gets the win.
And we're going to get to our Wilkinson stats, but here's the thing that's most impressive to me, AG. Back-to-back games where Dixie was facing a severe threat in Cedar and Crimson Cliffs. Back-to-back games, you would imagine that it was their star player, it was their main man leading them to victory in Isaac Finlinson. And although he's been solid, I mean, the play of Ethan Bennett, particularly like you've brought up multiple times, the play of Ethan Bennett in the fourth quarter here tonight against Crimson in particular has really ultimately what's willed the Flyers to victory. It's been a team effort all the way around. It hasn't been the Isaac Finlinson show. This is how Dixie won in the preseason. It's how they hung with Wasatch Academy. It's how they're winning now in region play. Is they don't really have one guy. Finlinson's the scorer, he's the star, but on a night-to-night basis they can go to anybody, and that's ultimately what makes Dixie the most dangerous team, one of the most dangerous teams in Utah 4A.
All right, this is the Johnson Pediatric post-game show. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to Dr. Cody Johnson and his staff. They make your kids feel right at home. See why so many are choosing Johnson Pediatrics. Call 628-0511 and ask for the new patient special with Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. And again, post-game, we got some stats for you, brought to you by Wilkinson's. We got some awards to hand out. Our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game. Our Dad's Trucking Players of the Game. We'll name one from each team, and they might surprise you who our players of the game are because they're not your usual suspects necessarily. Again, it's a final 68-58. Dixie wins it. We'll start now with our scoreboard, brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware. Cedar beats Canyon View in a rivalry game, not so much. All Cedar, 70-40. The Reds beat the Canyon View Falcons. And Cedar improves to 3-1 in region play. Their lone loss, a close one on the road at Dixie. Cedar team's for real, huh?
Yeah, they absolutely are. And for them, it was a perfect scheduling opportunity coming off a heartbreaking loss to Dixie to go in, take care of business against Canyon View, a team that's hung with contenders in the past, and Cedar just absolutely blows them away tonight on the Reds' home floor. And there's so much potential there in that when they competed with Dixie, Trayton Tebbs was struggling, Dallin Grant was struggling. Cedar wasn't playing at their highest level, and give a lot of credit to Dixie's defense in that regard, but the Reds' ceiling is very, very high, and they show that by taking care of Canyon View in easy fashion.
So congratulations to Cedar. We had Desert Hills up big late. Did we ever get a final on that game?
Yeah, we did. So the final there was Desert Hills winning 74-53. The Thunder trounced the Panthers. It was a close game at half, only a 7-point game. But the Thunder led by, of course, the usual suspects, get enough to pull ahead late after a game that was riddled with foul trouble, tempo issues. Desert Hills winning 74-53. And it looks like we also have a final between Hurricane and Snow Canyon. The Warriors will advance to 9-3 on the year. 2-2, they go 500 in region play, as that final is 48-29, a low-scoring affair between the Warriors and Tigers. Snow Canyon moves up. Hurricane will fall to 1-11 on the year, 0-4 in Region 9 play.
All right, congratulations to our winners tonight. They are Desert Hills, Snow Canyon, Cedar, and Dixie beating Crimson Cliffs. Mustangs dropped to 2-2 in region play after going undefeated in non-region. And you might ask yourself, well, okay, there's 2 undefeated teams left. When do they play each other? Well, that would be next Friday at 7:30 at Dixie High School. It's the Thunder and the Flyers. A little sneak preview for you. We do have games on Wednesday, but oh, man, what a matchup set up for Wednesday night. Both teams are going to come into this game undefeated probably.
Yeah, well, we expect that. I mean, especially when you look at Dixie, they play Snow Canyon next Wednesday, which is going to be a hard-fought game, no doubt. And then, of course, Desert Hills taking on Hurricane. That should be a win for the Thunder. So that Friday matchup already circled.
Our score update brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware in the heart of Cedar City and St. George. Also, Hearst General Store. Ace is the place. I love that place. You can find, you know what, you go in that store and you looking for something kind of weird or different, there's a pretty good chance they're going to have it. I love that store, Ace Hardware. We appreciate that. Got some highlights from our CEC guys. I don't know. Here we go. And those of you on radio, we'll try to document what's going on. Big 3 on the left side by Hawes. That was his only 3 make in this game. Hawes had a 6-point run right there by himself. And it got the Mustangs the lead in the third quarter, but pretty much all Dixie after that, Rustin.
Yeah, Jeffrey Cox there with his and one opportunity. He would hit the free throw. Full court pass from Sampson. Beautiful wraparound to Eaton. He was able to finish. Eaton really got Crimson back in this game, missing the jumper there, but it's put back inside by the big man.
There's a breakaway. Here's that dunk by Jeffrey Cox. Big fella can get up. You got to be able to get up to throw down.
A lot of power in that slam there. Forsey on the other end. This was to end the third quarter, a block by Felder. This time Bennett, though, with the spin cycle on Felder with a 2-hand layup. Eaton really had that mid-range going. He hits a jumper there to get Crimson Cliffs a little closer. Felder with a couple of blocks, but we saw D. Hart come in and play big minutes and get some big offensive rebounds and putbacks, including an and one.
Yeah, Alicio D. Hart was big in the second half of this game. The Flyers outscored the Mustangs by a count of 24-12 in the fourth quarter. Let me check that number again. It was 22-12.
And it was largely done behind that dominant defense. We see Bennett with a steal here, going behind the back, pounding his chest on the way back down the floor. And here was the final nail. Cox, a full court pass, a Hail Mary heave to Bennett. He finishes with the left hand. And at the end of the game, time had expired, but Cox got one more dunk. Make it, he wanted 2 on the game. He's going to finish with 1.
And I'm going to go right now, go ahead and hand out the award, and we got to let our CEC guys go here. Let's hand out some awards. AWP Playmaker Play of the Game, that touchdown pass to Bennett and the wraparound layup, that kind of clinched the game. I think that was a big one.
That was a big one. And Dixie had so many plays. You think of Finlayson going baseline, going behind the back with a beautiful move. I mean, that's why the Flyers are so well built, is because they make right reads and they make right passes. Rarely do you see Dixie with sloppy turnovers, and that certainly fits into that category. I'd agree with you.
All right, Ethan Bennett with who threw that pass? Did you remember who threw the deep pass to Bennett?
Jeffrey Cox.
So Cox with a touchdown pass to Bennett here in the basketball season. Bennett, our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game, brought to you by Appliance Wholesalers Plus, the good guys in the appliance business. They're across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart and open to the public. Save money at AWP. Now our Dad's Trucking Players of the Game. I think there's no doubt on the Dixie side. Ethan Bennett with a 14-point fourth quarter helped Dixie pull away. He ends up with 23 points, 1 3, and how about this? Made all 6 of his free throws, too.
I mean, DeHart had some major contributions, but Ethan Bennett just came on so strong in the fourth quarter. When the game was in flux, when these teams were battling back and forth, the Crimson defense focused on Finlayson, and it allowed Bennett to go to work with a couple nice spin moves, some nice post moves, defensive possessions. He was getting steals, getting his hand on the basketball. He was involved in almost every way in the fourth quarter, and ultimately the main reason why Dixie was able to coast to victory.
He is our Dad's Trucking Player of the Game for the Dixie Flyers. On the other side, A little tougher decision for Crimson Cliffs. Rock Hill ended up with 19, but he went silent all third quarter and most of the fourth quarter before he hit a couple of late threes when the game was already over. He does end up with a team-high 19 points. 11 for Felder. I kind of like him as your player of the game because he made a difference inside for much of the game.
I'm really with you. Early on in the game when the Mustang offense was struggling to find any type of rhythm, they went to Felder inside, and he had a couple nice post move finishes with the left hand, going strong with the right hand, using that shoulder to perfection. And Crimson Cliffs was able to find offensive stability after that. And then later on, when he wasn't scoring the basketball, what was he doing? He was getting offensive rebounds, getting defensive rebounds, and getting major swats. I really like the performance from the sophomore Brock Felder tonight and what he did for this Mustang squad.
He is our Dats Trucking Player of the Game. Thank you so much to Dats, running strong since 1988. Dats Trucking delivers your Dats Trucking Player of the Game. They also have that Ernie's 2 Sinclair station at the top of the boulevard. So our players of the game, Brock Felder for Crimson and Ethan Bennett for Dixie High School. As Dixie wins it, they go to 4-0 in region play. Hudson, or the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert is in effect.
It's on.
And so go to Yogurtland right now. Get your first 5 ounces absolutely free. If you can hold it to 5 ounces, you pay nothing.
If.
I can't. No.
Good luck.
All right, we're going to let our CEC guys go. We will make the phone call and get back with our folks at KDXU and continue Region 9 live tonight. Again, Dixie wins it 68-58. Flyers now 4-0 in region play. Crimson drops to 2-2 in region play. Final thought, Rustin.
Just once again, the Flyers proving why they should remain at the top. And ultimately, Crimson Cliffs has shown that they are a competitor. They should be taken seriously. But tonight it was really the Flyers' defense that impressed me the most. Stepping up a Region 9 high defense, a Utah 4A defense, and down the stretch, despite how impressive the offense can be at times, it's the defense that's going to win them basketball games. And we saw it firsthand, holding a squad that averages 76 to 58 points tonight.
That'll do it from here. Dixie wins it on the road, 68-58. For Russ and I'm Andy, wishing you a good evening from Crimson Cliffs Corral Arena. We'll be back.